All right, everyone, let's go ahead and continue the innovation here with the low-code close. So what we're going to do, we're working towards building an automated one-click uh, workflow to prepare a journal entry. So with no more flipping through tabs or copying and pasting data from one to another or refreshing pivot tables. We're going to execute this in one click. Now, let's go over in the previous videos, I was kind of walking through um, setting up these nodes, but I've already set them all up. We're just gonna walk through how they're configured in this last step. So we covered reading the data, doing a little bit of cleanup on the P&L data, and then joining two data sets together so that we have all the information we need to prepare the deferred revenue entry. Now, we're going to look at the data, we're going to filter to what's relevant, and we want to filter to our warranty product data here so that we're filtering to what is actually going to be used to prepare the entry, since warranty is collected up front but earned over a period of time. So we're going to recognize the revenue that way. So let's go to the rule-based rule filter. And in here, I'm just putting a statement that says if the product or service is a 1-year warranty, or if it's a 2-year warranty, true, recognize that as true, and then include all true matches. So then what that's going to do is it's going to filter to the data that we actually want to work with here, our warranty sales for the period. Then we're going to use this rule engine to convert those product descriptions to the amount of months that we're going to amortize over. We're going to create a new column, months to amortize. So now we have that in there. So we can actually use the math formula to calculate the revenue recognized by month by taking the amount of the sale divided by the months to amortized, and here we have $100 in revenue. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to actually prepare the journal entry template. And I've separated this into two different components. So we're going to, in this top half, we're going to de-recognize the warranty revenue that was recognized in full. So we recognize the full sale in revenue and warranty revenue. And so we're going to reverse that out. And then we're going to recognize the portion that relates to the month and the workflow section over here. So let's have a look at that. So first we're going to reverse out that revenue. So what we're doing here is we're getting a sum of the amount. Remember, we already filtered by the warranty revenue, the warranty invoices. So we're going to get a sum of the total, and we're going to concatenate the invoice IDs. So we can put that in the description, and we're going to build up to the QuickBooks journal entry template. So we got $3,600. This was the total amount of deferred revenue that we want to recognize and reverse out of warranty revenue. So then we're going to change the descriptions so that they align with the journal entry template. That's what we're doing over here in the column rename node. Now we're going to separate our debits and credits and then combine them together. So our debits, I'm adding in all of the different mandatory fields in the journal entry template here. So I'm using the column expressions node to create all these additional columns. I'm adding in the date, I'm adding in the description, number of the journal entry, and these what I would really do, I've done this for simplicity, but I would add variables to define all of these to make it easier. These, and maybe I'll show that in a future video, but I'm coming back to the columns, the mandatory columns. There's also name, location, and class. I've left those all blank. And then the account is going to be warranty revenue that we're going to debit here to clear it out. And then we're going to, we're just going to have a 0 in the credits, since this is the debit side of the entry. We had to get it in a certain format for QuickBooks to read it. On the credit side, what we're going to do is we're going to say that the credit side is actually equal to the debits, since it's just a 2-line entry. And and then we're going to zero out the debits, basically. So everything else is the same. So what that's going to do, we're going to see it in the result. It's going to be a little bit more clear. We combine those two together, and let's look at the result of that entry. We have a credit of 3,600 and a debit of 3,600 going to warranty revenue and deferred revenue. So okay, so now let's go to the other component of the entry, which is the recognition of the revenue. So these two steps are going to be the same, except that we're not using the group by. We're just filtering to the monthly months to amortize and the monthly warranty revenue. And the reason why we're filtering by those two, which we'll look at those two columns. Going forward, we want to retain this in the description so that we know how much to amortize each month, and we record that in QuickBooks. So that's going to be our description field, and this is going to be the amount that's going to go into entry, monthly amount to amortize. So we're going to do with the alignment to the template, description, and debits. Debits are the amount that we're going to, the amount of, we're going to see here. It's going to be a little bit more clear to explain once we actually go into the debits and the credit side of these column expressions nodes. So if you look at it here, we're just doing the same thing we did in the previous entry, except we changed this to deferred revenue. So we're going to debit deferred revenue by that $200 to take it out of deferred revenue, and we're going to credit warranty revenue for the $200 over here. So that we're going to recognize each of those transactions individually. Let's take a look at what the result is going to be. So you can see we're tracking both of them. We're recognizing $200 in warranty revenue and $200 in deferred revenue, but we have all of the detail here, the line by line detail, which is a good thing. So once we combine them together, we reverse out the invoices for warranty revenue, and then we recognize the appropriate monthly revenue amount for warranty revenue in the same entry. So then what we want to do is we want to align the table over here to the order of the journal entry template, which I've put over here. I've just created a table, and I've gotten it into the format that it needs to be in order for it to work with this reference column resorter node. So what's gonna happen is this is going to resort, instead of me having to resort it manually, it's going to resort it in the proper format that QuickBooks expects, which is this. And then we're just going to do some little bit of cleanup to try and get it into the correct format for QuickBooks. We're going to convert the debit and the credit columns to string, and we're going to do some manipulation so that we can actually get it to be imported properly into QuickBooks. So we got string replacer over here. We're going to replace all 0.0 zeros in the debit and the credit columns with blank. So we're going to do that on the credit target column as well, and that gives us this. So now we have those as blanks. That's the way we want it. And so what we'll do here now is we'll reset this. Actually, let's go ahead and reset it all the way from here so we can see the whole thing run. And we're going to, let me just open up our CSV reader. Yep. So we're gonna go ahead and execute this so it'll create the CSV, and then we'll import it into QuickBooks. Look how quick that is. So we're done here. Now let's bring over our QuickBooks page, and let's go ahead and import data. Let's go to journal entries, and we're going to go to browse. We're going to go to our deferred revenue JE. I'm going to select the journal date in the proper format. Is going to be month, day, year. So let's go ahead and start import, and we're done. That that is imported. Our journal entry is in there. Okay, we're all set. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed the video. That concludes our first loading of an entry into the low code close. And now it's a one-time setup. We can do it next month end. This is the power of low code. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day.